General Hospital spoilers. Willow's unexpected ally appears. Drew and two close associates are destroyed. Port Charles is bracing for one of the most catastrophic reckonings in recent memory as General Hospital plunges its most cherished and despised characters into the eye of a fast-brewing storm. While the town reels from recent betrayals, secrets, and shifting loyalties, Willow Corinthos is about to find strength in the unlikeliest of places, and Drew Kane, the once unshakable former Navy SEAL, is on the precipice of losing everything, including two of his most trusted confidants. Let's dive into the tangled web that's about to snap, and the characters who won't come out of this story arc unscathed. The serene life that Willow had envisioned post-cancer remission has been nothing but a mirage. Between Michael's cold distance, Nina's betrayal, and the heavy burden of truth she still carries about Sasha's child, Willow has been drifting in a sea of silence. She's long buried her instincts as a fighter, until now. In an emotionally charged series of episodes, Willow finally reaches her breaking point after Wiley begins asking pointed questions about his biological mother, and Willow discovers that Michael has been secretly meeting with someone she thought was long gone. The emotional spiral sends her back to a place of self-doubt and despair. Enter Nellie Benson's twin, or so she claims. That's right. In a twist worthy of soap lore, a mysterious woman named Celia appears in Port Charles, claiming to be Nellie's fraternal twin, given up at birth and raised by an unknown foster family in Arizona. She's smart, calculating, but oddly compassionate. Most notably, she knows about Willow's past.
Too much, in fact.
After a cautious confrontation, Celia tells Willow she isn't there for vengeance, but for redemption. She claims to have witnessed Drew Kane engaging in backdoor dealings tied to Aurora Media's supposed charity wing, dealings that could send Drew to prison for decades and expose a money funnel involving two close allies, Carly Spencer and Curtis Ashford. While Drew has positioned himself as Port Charles's moral compass and protector, his facade is about to be shredded. Ever since Jason's return, Drew has grown increasingly insecure. He's tried to match Jason's loyalty, but behind the scenes, his desperation to prove himself as a powerhouse in the business world has driven him to make deadly mistakes. What began as a partnership with Curtis to rebuild the Savoy has spiraled into a darker alliance involving untraceable funds, insider stock trades, and a failed cover-up of a mysterious death connected to a whistleblower at Aurora's Media Lab. Carly, trying to help Drew through his silent crisis, unknowingly put her name on several documents now under federal scrutiny. And Curtis? He's been using his PI network to eliminate witnesses, information Celia claims to have documented with audio recordings and location data. Drew, cornered in a business meeting by a U.S. Marshal and SEC investigator, tries to deny all allegations until Willow herself walks in, holding Celia's flash drive in her hand. The betrayal on Drew's face is matched only by Willow's grief. She whispers, "You lied to all of us," before handing over the evidence. Curtis is arrested outside the Savoy. Carly, unaware of her impending doom, is at the Quartermain mansion when the police arrive. And Drew? He watches his empire disintegrate, destroyed by the woman he never thought would turn on him. In the wake of Drew's collapse, Michael becomes Willow's next target. She confronts him in a bitter scene at the gatehouse, where she exposes his months-long clandestine meetings with Nina, where he promised to keep Willow in line, in exchange for keeping Sonny out of prison. "You sold me for your father." Willow snaps, and Michael has no defense. The bridge between them is gone. This moment isn't just a breakup, it's a rebirth for Willow. She walks out with Wiley and Amelia, heading toward an uncertain future, but one where she finally reclaims her voice. She later makes a call that leaves fans stunned. She invites Celia to move in with her as a friend and guardian. Carly has stood tall in the face of betrayals, mob wars, and heartbreak, but this one hits different. For the first time, her downfall isn't someone else's fault, it's her own. She trusted Drew. She put her name, her business, and even her moral compass on the line for him. As the SEC freezes her assets and her Metro Court shares are temporarily seized, Carly is left with nothing but shame and grief. Her once strong bond with Jocelyn is strained when Joss learns about Carly's role in helping Drew move the charity money used to buy weapons for Curtis' private militia. Joss screams, "You're no better than Sonny." The silence is deafening. Meanwhile, Curtis finds himself facing a conspiracy charge, as well as accessory to a murder tied to the Aurora whistleblower case. Worse still, Trina finds out from a court affidavit that Curtis tried to have the whistleblower's car tampered with, unaware that the victim's daughter was in the back seat, and she died. Trina's devastation turns to fury. Her father's image is shattered. She confronts him in the courtroom, declaring, "You taught me to fight for truth. Now you want me to protect your lie." Curtis, shattered, sobs silently. Trina walks out, refusing to testify on his behalf. Just when fans think the story has peaked, Jason Morgan returns from a covert operation in Singapore, having followed a trail of money connected to Waverly Systems, the same shell company Drew used to launder funds through Aurora. Jason's re-entry into the chaos is met with mixed emotions. Sam is stunned. Danny doesn't recognize the man in front of him. And Sonny? He gives Jason one look and says, "It's time." Jason takes control of the situation like only he can. He visits Willow and tells her that Celia isn't just Nellie's twin, she's also connected to the Cassadines, a fact Willow suspects but hasn't confirmed. Jason promises to protect Willow and the kids, no matter what side Celia ultimately chooses. The Jason/Willow alliance surprises fans, hinting at a possible slow burn dynamic between two characters who have never truly shared screen time as allies. In a chilling flashback episode, we learn Celia was once under the guardianship of Victor Cassadine, who trained her as a psychological operative. Her original mission was to infiltrate Port Charles and destabilize Drew, Sonny, and Jason's fragile alliances, but something changed. Watching Willow fight for her children and face betrayal after betrayal, Celia began to see a version of herself in Willow. Her choice to help destroy Drew was as much about stopping Victor's lingering plot as it was about giving Willow the justice she deserved. But the Cassadines aren't done with her. Valentine, lurking in the shadows, reveals to Anna that Celia is the last living piece of Victor's Serpent Protocol, which means more enemies are coming to Port Charles, and now they're looking at Willow's children as their next leverage point. As all the dominoes fall, Nina attempts one last act of redemption. She learns about the Serpent Protocol from a coded document left in Victor's safe, which she retrieves using a combination once given to her by Miko's Cassadine himself during a twisted family gathering years ago. Nina approaches Jason with the intel. She offers it without asking for forgiveness, simply saying, "I owe Willow more than I can say." Jason, stone-faced, accepts the document, but warns Nina that if she's playing both sides again, he'll make sure she never sees her grandchildren again. Nina nods. "I wouldn't blame you." With Drew in custody, Curtis facing decades in prison, and Carly stripped of her empire, the power dynamics in Port Charles shift once again. But the most poignant change is Willow's transformation. Gone is the meek, soft-spoken nurse. In her place stands a mother, a survivor, and now, a strategist, armed with new allies, a sharpened instinct, and an unwavering resolve to protect her family at all costs. Willow visits Drew in his jail cell one final time. As he tries to plead his case, she calmly says, "I won't hate you, but I will never trust you again." Then she walks away, for good. Jason and Anna team up to track remnants of the Serpent Protocol. Sonny makes a deadly decision to protect his grandchildren from Cassadine retaliation. Willow receives a letter from Harmony's old contact, containing a list of other children of chaos. Jocelyn and Trina unite for a legal battle to dismantle Curtis' shadow network. Celia's full history with Nellie is finally revealed in a shocking cliffhanger episode. With Drew's downfall, Carly's disgrace, and Curtis' ruin, General Hospital is setting the stage for a seismic shift in power, and Willow Corinthos may just rise as one of its most quietly commanding forces. With Jason and Celia on either side of her, she's no longer anyone's pawn. She's becoming the queen.